It all begins with Mu, who has undergone extensive training, not for the purpose of immortality or to slay demons, but to experience culinary delights because he's a big eater like me. His gluttony is so extreme that he impersonates a female cooking judge just to get some free food. He also harshly critiques the dishes, leaving the chefs devastated. Mu is only caught when the actual judge comes in and calls him out. He quickly escapes after skillfully evading the guards' attacks. He later rests at the top of a mountain complaining about how the world's finest meals taste ordinary to him. He cut his training short and left the Tianxing sect to seek the ultimate flavor. But these mediocre dishes are making him wonder if he has reached the pinnacle of culinary arts. The aroma of a stunning dish catches his attention. Just as he's about to give up, he quickly rushes, eager not to miss out. Mu arrives at the bustling establishment, and all the customers comment on how amazing the food tastes. They all pause for a moment before he is welcomed by the server, who shows him a table and gives him some tea. Mu places an order for a few simple dishes, but with a condition that it must be fit for human consumption. He makes it clear that he knows that they are all not human. The customers transform into monsters and pounce on him, but he swiftly cuts them down with his twin blades. Chef He makes the call that he's bringing out the next order. Mu drools as he holds the chef at knife point, demanding that he gives him the meal in his hand. He is so terrified that he spills the food on Mu's face as he's about to hand it over. The chef grovels on the floor, pleading for mercy. The glutton eats the meal before it hits the floor and calls it a culinary masterpiece. Mu thinks that the chef has used magic to deceive him because he can taste a fusion of pork and chicken feet. He promises him that such an ingredient does exist. He's even ready to recreate the dish in front of him. The chef directs him to the Jew mountain where the claw pig lives. They have the bodies of pigs and the feet of chickens. He states that the ones in front of them need another 100 years to mature, so they can't use them for the meal. Mu is prepared to wait, but He informs him that there are plenty of tastier foods and reveals that according to the Shanghai cookbook, beasts are categorized by flavor levels, which are delicacy, exquisite, and supreme. The claw pig is just a low-tier delicacy. Mu spots a unicorn condor flying in the sky and brings it down. He fears the dangerous bird, but Mu wants to know if it's tastier than the claw pig. The chef confirms it is, but he's not sure they can even survive this attack, let alone taste it. Mu drools as he decides that it's going to be their meal for the night. He equips his swords and fights against the monster bird. As they clash, he asks He the best way to eat the bird. He chops the monster's claws on the chef's order. This causes the bird to quickly retreat. He steps up and expertly cooks a condor claw stew, which is a middle-tier delicacy. Just the smell alone puts Mu in a trance. He takes a bite and starts crying because it's so delicious. He reveals that the star of the dish is the broth. He opens the bottom of the claw and drains the liquid gold out. Mu goes into another world when he tastes it and asks He to formally introduce himself before telling the guy that he absolutely loves his food. The chef is happy to hear this and reveals that he's the sole inheritor of Shanghai cuisine, which he inherited from his grandfather. After hearing that, Mu decides to make He his personal chef because he wants to try all his cooking. They go to town to get more ingredients and seasonings from the market. He tries to create opportunities to escape, but Mu stops him. The glutton even uses an absurd level of power to take out a rogue chicken that is terrorizing the market. He uses it to make supper, which Mu enjoys. They later find an inn to get some rest, and Mu informs his private chef that they will go hunting for even better ingredients the following day. This is some Toriko and Komatsu behavior. Later that night, He complains because there is a child crying non-stop and he can't get any sleep. Mu is sure the noise is supernatural and opens their room window to show the group of people sleepwalking. The big eater reveals that they are being controlled by the sound. He takes a closer listen to the baby cries and realizes that the sound is coming from a Tao beast. It is a man-eating creature that uses a tone to mesmerize its prey till it walks right into its mouth. Mu finds it convenient that the monster has its food deliver itself, but he pauses his thoughts since saving the people is of importance. He uses the awakening bell to bring the villagers out of the trance temporarily. This gives them enough time to find and eliminate the creature. But Mu sees this hunt as them going for a midnight snack. They locate the creature to a strange-looking forest. His demon detector has stopped working since their arrival, and the sound the Tao beast was making has stopped. He wonders if the creature sensed them and went into hiding. The chef is terrified and thinks they should go back because he gets the feeling that something has been watching them. He speculates that there are other fierce demons around. Mu is happy to hear this because this means more snacks for them. They are soon attacked by a swarm of monsters. Mu dodges their assault and dices them up, but more monsters regenerate from the cut pieces. The martial foodie uses water technique to freeze them all. He plucks one of the insects and munches it like a delicious snack. Mu turns to let his chef know how nice it is, only to find him gone. The chef ran away since he's not willing to risk his life for munch. Hei starts to feel bad for abandoning him, but he recalls how he once had a friend who became acquainted with a human, but he was eliminated when the humans found out that he was a demon. Hei believes that he's behaving like the human who betrayed his friend. He quickly represses the guilt since he needs to save himself for now. All the while, Mu frantically looks for his chef and even asks some of the monsters around. The martial foodie is confronted by many beast skeletons, which makes him realize that Hei ran away out of fear. He gets into a meditation position to use his powers to find his chef. During that interval, Hei runs into the Tau beast, and he gets paralyzed in fear. He wishes he trusted Mu more when he hears the voice of Mu telling him to punch the monster. He does so, and is surprised that he sent it flying. He thinks that his hidden powers have awakened. However, his hopes is shot down when Mu reveals that it was thanks to his power. He astral projected himself into Hei's body. He takes control again to dodge the attacks of the monster. The chef reveals that the Tau beasts are known to hold long-term grudges. Their true form is a red goat, which is a real delicacy. However, when it gets angry, it can take hundreds of years for it to revert to its goat form. After hearing this, Mu uses the immortal massage techniques to calm it down instantly. He returns to his body and meets up with Hei, who cooks up the goat into some meatballs, which is a middle-tier delicacy. Mu is stunned by how juicy the balls are. No diddy. As he enjoys the meal, Hei apologizes for abandoning him. Mu is cool about it and understands that fear is natural and promises to keep the chef safe. The skeletons from earlier catch up to them, but the martial foodie doesn't see them as a threat. Hei reveals that these skeleton monsters were not turned to that state by the Tau beast. The ground quakes as the chef is about to reveal the real danger is Aoye, a super rare magical beast. They are currently on the back of the giant creature, which has gotten up and let out a roar. The sudden movement of the creature causes Hei to lose balance and fall. Mu doesn't hesitate to jump to save him, but Aoye uses its hair to capture the glutton, and he quickly figures out the danger they face. Mu notes that Aoye can secrete digestive juice through its hair when he witnesses the horse turn a creature to Brooks. He guesses that Aoye was using the Tau beast's call to lure prey. Now that the horse's bait has been eaten, it doesn't intend to let Mu live. He activates his two blades to cut Hei free and shoots an ice blast at Aoye when it still tries to eat the chef. Mu lets the giant horse know that he is the opponent. Aoye knocks him out with a roar that has tremendous pressure mixed with stanky breath. It then steps on Mu like he's some trash on the floor before proceeding to the city. The residents are released from the trance but start to panic when they see Aoye coming towards them. The hairs out the horse begins to pluck the humans like apples from a tree. All the while Mu lies face down in the dirt. He recalls being told that mythical beasts are the most delicious. Hei told him that the taste of these legendary creatures change based on age, climate, season, or even mood. However, generally, the mightier the beast, the tastier it is. Mu's primal need to eat the best food forces him to regain consciousness. The first thing he does is deny Aoye of its human feast by cutting the residents free from its grasp. He confronts the horse and reminds it that he's its opponent. Hei is dropped to the ground when Mu calls his blade to his side. As the martial foodie gathers power, he reveals that since ancient times there has been two energies, the yin, which is represented by his black blade, and yang, which is represented by his white blade. When they are combined, they are known as the two polarities. His swords fuse to create a powerful weapon. Aoye responds with another roar, but Mu shoots his blade at the shockwave. He later meets up with Hei and reveals that the monster fled when faced with his power. He was scared to deliver a blow too hard in case he ruined the meat. Mu collapses from exhaustion as he demands that the chef tell him how to cook the legendary horse. Meanwhile, the use of his power has alerted Hong to his whereabouts, and she begins to move. All the while, Hei drags an unconscious Mu on a 3-day journey to a forest that has the Baigao plant. Its sap can quickly restore stamina. The chef can't leave Mu in a coma after all he has done. Hei taps the sap from the plant using a tube of bamboo. He then uses it to make an amazing noodle dish. Just the smell alone prompts Mu to suck the noodle into his mouth in his unconscious state. He quickly regains full energy. He is ready to hunt for Aoye, but the chef doesn't want to endure any more danger. His dream is to open a restaurant and live a simple life. Mu responds by putting his original seal on Hei. If he tries to leave, he will be exploded. The glutton can't let his chef go after hearing his plans. He makes it clear to Hei that he's going to be with him for the rest of his life. The chef thinks that Mu is a jerk for holding him hostage, and I agree. What a total jerk. As they proceed, the duo is trapped by the 5-element golden lock formation. The caster also used the fire position knowing that it is his weakness. Hong appears stating that she will not let him escape this time. She demands that he follow her back to the Tianxing sect. He responds by rizzing her up, asking her to join them for lunch. She completely loses sight of her goal for a moment as she plays along, but quickly remembers that she has not come to eat food or get rizzed up. Hong gets jealous when Mu introduces Hei as a very important person to him. She reminds him of their rich history together. The lady has been searching the whole world for the last 6 years after he left without warning. She attacks Hei thinking that he is a girl and gets salty when Mu protects him. She uses a more powerful attack to burn them, but Mu takes the damage and puts a barrier around his precious chef. Hong gets worried and rushes over to make sure that the martial foodie is okay when he collapses to the floor. Turns out that Mu hit her with the Naruto log substitution. He lured her out of her fire position and captures her. Hong is more excited that he is holding her and wonders if this is what love feels like. She is brought back to reality when she finds herself bound. Mu reminds her that she was the first to attack when she starts to complain. He begins to vomit when he thinks about the terrible soup that their master will make him eat as punishment for leaving the sect. Mu pleads with her not to tell him since he's still cultivating in seclusion. His appeals are interrupted when they are attacked by a spiny fire beast. Mu moves them to safety before going to fight their next meal. The chef reveals that these creatures are not usually this hostile towards humans. The beast shoots its spikes towards Mu as Hei informs him that they are poisonous. The glutton equips his blade and cuts them before they hit their target. He then masterfully subdues the beast with a water technique. He rejects Hong's help to defeating it because he wants the chef to tell him the correct way to handle the creature. Hei informs him that he must pluck all the spikes from the creature first. It mustn't be taken out by force, otherwise the poison seeps into the skin, making the whole body toxic. After hearing this, Mu jumps onto the creature and uses himself as a magnet to remove the spikes as he rolls all over the body. Hei states that Mu is the most extreme foodie he has ever met. The glutton chases the beast to finish it off, but it escapes underground. Mu also uses earth teleportation to follow it. Hong gets upset that he let her fall and held Hei instead. They spot the preserved skeletons of beasts that were trying to escape human hunters. The chef speculates that the spiny fire beast attacked them due to its memories of past persecutions. Hong thinks that is nonsense as she reminds him that it was the monsters and mythical beasts that attacked humans first. They pause their argument when they realize that Mu has been poisoned. Hei panics because it slowly deprives those infected of their senses. The reason he doesn't feel any pain is because touch is the first sense to go, which is then followed by sight, hearing, smell, and finally taste. As the world's biggest foodie, Mu starts to cry when he learns that he could lose his ability to taste. The chef tells him to calm down because he has found the poop of the animal that is the antidote. Mu doesn't listen properly and starts to aggressively eat it. He spits it out when he is told the truth. Hei states that he needs to stay still since movement speeds up the spread of the poison. They are forced to untie Hong, who accompanies the chef to find the antidote. The two soon encounter the tail-shedding rats. Hei discloses that they must make the creatures dance, which they do. He gives the order for Hong to scare all of them. She lets out a shout which frightens them, causing them to drop their tails and run off. The chef reveals that their tails taste best after a workout. He creates a meal out of the tails since it is the antidote. Hong refuses to eat food cooked by a monster. They rush to deliver it to Mu, but unfortunately for him, he is confronted by the spiny fire beast. The foodie is forced to move as he dodges the creature's assault, and as a result, he loses his sight. He is still able to dodge and notices that this one is mightier than the one he first faced. Mu is happy because this means that it will be tastier. His ability to hear also gets taken. This heightens his sense of smell. He follows the scent of the meal that his chef has made. The other two catch up to him, and Hei throws the antidote. Mu's sense of smell cuts off just as he's about to eat it, causing him to miss the meal. He refuses to lose his sense of taste and awakens the foodie's sixth sense. He gains a new mode of vision and uses it to devour the food. Mu gives his approval as his senses come back. He turns his attention to the beast, which he calls the main course. He uses an earth technique to imprison his prey. Hong wastes no time and shoots a fire attack that finishes off the monster. She wants to return now that it has been taken care of. A dark hunger takes over Mu as he attacks Hong, but she bulks up and punches him into the earth prison. She rushes to see if the martial foodie is okay. She arrives to find him drooling at the sight of the perfectly grilled organ meat. Hong is relieved to see that he's fine, but he brushes her aside because he wants to hear from his chef as to what is going on. Hei explains that the high heat burnt the skin and meat, but it cooked the internal organs. Mu is excited to hear that the organs is hundreds of times tastier than the meat. He snatches the chef's specially made seasoning topping so that he can enjoy it with the meat. Hong wants to know what his earlier behavior was. He answers that he only remembers that he was starving and lost his mind. She watches Mu and Hei having a good time and gets jealous. She starts to blush when her crush asks her to follow them. Hong tries to play hard to get so the foodie leaves with his chef, prompting her to chase after them. Guys, take note. That's what we call the Sigma Uno reverse. The trio later show their teamwork as Mu catches some fish and cuts it. Hong uses her fire to perfectly cook it, and Hei superbly seasons it. As they enjoy the meal, Hong wants to know why Mu left the Tianxing sect. She heard that he dipped because the food was bad. She doesn't believe that, and feels like with his talent, he can ascend to heaven and become immortal. Mu discloses that one of the reasons he left was because he could sense that Ao Ye was coming. He wanted to plead with their master to go eliminate it, but he was in seclusion. He left without permission because he couldn't bear seeing Ao Ye wreak havoc on the world. Sadly, he couldn't defeat it even at full strength. He feels like it is pointless being immortal if he can't eliminate demons and save the world. He doesn't think he can return to the sect until he eliminates Ao Ye. The guy drools as he says this. Hong is moved by his goal and offers her help. He knows that he's capping, and that he is strong enough to defeat it currently. Meanwhile, Ao Ye finds a new location to hide and turns into a mountain. A strange guy snatches a monster that is on the horse and vanishes. Another entity takes Ao Ye and says that it is a super rare mythical beast. The trio continue their travels, where they lure a male red antelope deer by pretending to be a female. They hunt the creature when it realizes that it has been catfished. After a brief chase, the deer becomes their breakfast. Hong still refuses to eat Hei's food because he's a monster. Mu is too busy enjoying the meal to worry about his junior's pride. They proceed to a barren town, and Hong wonders if they will find a clue on how to find Ao Ye in such a place. Their attention is drawn by the residences of the town. The elder pleads for their help. He narrates how a huge flying snake appeared near their village and swallowed the clouds in the sky a year ago. Since then, not a single drop of rain has fallen, causing all their crops to die of drought. They are slowly running out of food. After hearing a description of the creature, Hei informs Mu that the culprit was the flying serpent. The martial foodie already knows that it is going to be tasty, so he rushes to the village elder to assure him that they will deal with it since their faction's mission is to slay evil demons. The party go out to find it, and after a short trek, Hei is confident that he has found their target. The chef reveals that the serpent likes to rest under wet soil after swallowing clouds and rain. The soil they are currently on is damp. Mu makes his move to lure it out by melting some icicles on the floor. Mu and Hong use a combination attack to swiftly take out the creature. The chef wastes no time and butters some of the snake for them to have lunch. Mu is already there to eat the hot pot that is being prepared. It is a lower-tier, exquisite dish. Hong's pride makes her refuse to join them. She just wants them to defeat Ao Ye and return to the sect. Hei is trying to become friendly with Hong so that she can help her remove Mu's seal. That evening, the chef enters his magical coat, which has another dimension that houses his whole cooking operation. He checks his stock and washes his dishes before coming out. The chef is too exhausted to cook for himself, so he decides to go to the night market to get some food. He orders one bowl of noodles, and it's his first time at a human restaurant, so he takes in the sights while he waits, and he spots Hong eating a ridiculous amount of food. She gets embarrassed and throws the 2 sets of chopsticks she was using to eat at the server's head as he brings out more food. Hong annoyedly tells Hei that it is not her chopsticks. She explains that she came to eat alone because she thinks that Mu will not like her if he sees the way she eats. Hei feels like girls who eat a lot are cute because they can get the strength to reproduce. She gets offended and challenges him to a cooking duel, so they borrow the restaurant's kitchen. They are both only allowed to use the ingredients in the kitchen, and if she wins, he must stop cooking for Mu. She is willing to do anything that he wants if he wins. Meanwhile, Mu wakes up from his sleep when he senses a demon. He heads to the roof and sees a beast galloping in the sky. The martial foodie jumps up to intercept it, but he bumps into the demon Jiao, who is also chasing it. Mu can sense strong demonic energy from him and guesses that he's hundreds of times stronger than Ao Ye. They both know that they are hostile to one another and prepare to fight. Jiao refuses to let Mu have his prey and fires a magic shot at him. He blocks but is sent flying into one of the buildings. The demon turns his attention back to the pursuit of the beast. Mu comes out of nowhere and torpedoes Jiao just as he's about to capture the creature. He demands to know who is the one that is getting in his way. Mu introduces himself as the world's #1 gourmet and states that no one can take what he wants. The two have an epic clash in the sky, and Jiao is impressed with Mu's abilities. The demon guesses that he is also looking for mythical beasts like him if he calls himself a gourmet. He doesn't think any of this matters because he intends to eliminate the foodie with the powerful attack he's about to unleash. All the while, Hong and Hei's showdown is on the way as the ingredients are presented before them. Hei allows her to choose her fixings first. Hong feels like the chef is too confident and decides to show her skill by cutting her ingredients in a flashy manner as she makes a stir-fry. As she prepares her food, it is revealed that one learns how to cook at the Tianxing sect. Because the meals are so diabolical, she has reached the peak of cooking at the sect. The restaurant owner is impressed with her cuisine. Hei goes next and makes a simple egg dish. The restaurant owner suggests they judge each other's dishes because he's not good at food reviews. Hei commends her skill before trying the meal. She tries to downplay her efforts, but it is really her best dish that she has put forward. The chef tastes it and calls it a perfect meal. However, he remarks on her cutting skills, stating that she went for flash, which impacted the quality of her cuts. She is upset with his criticism and intends to be harsh when reviewing his food. Hong takes a taste and is blown away by how nice it is. She is reluctant to openly admit it, but the lady is forced to put it on the same level as an imperial dish. Hay drops the bombshell that it is an imperial meal called non-stick egg pudding. It took him 3 years to master the dish, and it is loved by the aristocracy. Hong has a newfound respect for the chef and concedes. She makes her services available to him as promised. He begs with her to help remove the spell that will explode him if he decides to run away. Hong takes a closer look and discloses that it is Mu's protective spell which repels evil beings. Their conversation is interrupted when Mu crashes into the kitchen unconscious. Jiao follows soon behind and fires an attack as the other two try to tend to their comrade. Hong blocks it and orders Hay to take Mu to safety. She is hit when her attention is taken. The demon tries to finish off Hay, but Mu's seal protects him. This gives time for Hong to recover and bulk up. She lands a punch that sends Jiao out of the building. The chef runs away but comes back to pick Mu after he recalls all the good times they spent together. The two arrive at a safe area where the chef tends to Mu. He can't believe that the demon was strong enough to put Mu in such a state. Hay really didn't expect the explosive seal to be a protective spell, but this has been confirmed with the way it repelled Jiao. He thanks Mu for the guardianship. Hong finally catches up and is livid to see Hay tending to her man. The chef explains that he was tending to Mu's injuries, but she doesn't see any. The martial foodie wakes up as Hong ruffles up Hay unjustly. She throws the chef aside and rushes to Mu when she notices that he is woken up. She's eager to confirm that her crush is fine, but Mu is more distressed that he failed to defeat Jiao to claim his prey. Hong informs him that the demon followed the creature after they fought for a while. The glutton is depressed that his rival got the mythical beast. Hay identifies the creature as the Nightcat King after hearing its description. He reveals that it normally stays deep in the mountains and never ventures outside. The chef pleads with the other two to follow him. Shortly after, they arrive at the Chennai mountain. Hay removes a seal and calls on Lung, the bird-bodied, who is the so-called mountain god. She appears and gives the chef a hug before introducing herself to the other two. Hay discloses that each mountain area has a so-called deity who holds influence over all the mythical beasts and plants in their area. Lung oversees the 10 mountains nearby. Hong gets formal as she introduces herself, but Lung doesn't think that is necessary. Mu guesses that this means that she's immortal as he examines her feathers. He is stopped by Hay when he starts to see Lung's arms as fried wings. The chef gets to the point as he asks if Lung recently released any Nightcat Kings. She hasn't, and reminds him that they don't like to roam. They inform her that they saw one the previous night. Lung gets alarmed and takes them to the world captured in painting to check. As they travel through the realm on a feather, Lung explains how mythical beasts, humans, monsters, and so-called deities lived together thousands of years ago. However, the mythical beasts started to wreak havoc, so the supposed mountain gods trapped them in this painting realm, creating a sanctuary for them. But maintaining the ecological balance is difficult, since some mythical beasts reproduce quickly and have no natural predators. Hay normally helps with the disasters caused by the explosion in population. Hong is surprised to hear that such a small monster like him could be of help to a so-called deity. When he was working at the restaurant, all the ingredients were supplied by Lung. Mu volunteers to stay and help keep the population in check. She rejects the offer since the space is supposed to be free from human intervention. His prolonged presence could cause unknown issues. Hay wants them to move to the Night King's habitat. He suspects that the creature they saw the previous night escaped from their area. This would mean Jiao was there too, and might have been the cause. Their worst fears are confirmed when they meet the Nightcat Kings massacred. Mu blames himself for not eliminating Jiao, but what is annoying him is the waste of food, so Hong and Hay knock him for stating that. The party are suddenly attacked by sky-devouring earthworms, but Mu cuts some down as Hong uses her fire to deal with the others. But the creature's numbers soon overwhelm them, as Hay points out how they hunt his packs. Lung moves the entire mountain to a different location where worms are not present. Hay discloses that this is not the solution because they are one of the creatures that reproduce quickly without the Nightcat Kings to keep them in check. The worms are capable of eating everything in the painting realm. Lung reveals that she was the one who took Ao Ye and takes them to see the creature. Both she and Mu are mortified to see its skeleton. Hay guesses that Jiao hid inside Ao Ye and eliminated it in this realm and attacked the Nightcats after. The chef wonders if this was all to satisfy his appetite. Hong thinks that they should go back to the sect now that Ao Ye has been eliminated by someone else. Mu is depressed to learn this, but Hay has a silver lining as he reveals that Ao Ye's bone can be used for cooking too. The glutton comes back to life as the chef informs him that they will need other ingredients. He also tells Lung that he will use his cooking to deal with the sky-devouring earthworms. Hong uses her fire to extract the bone oil from Aoye's skeleton. She lets Hei know that she's only doing it for Lung and threatens the chef if he's unable to get rid of the worms. Mu and the so-called deity arrive with the rest of the ingredients. They inform him that they were only able to get the shell of the spinning tortoise. Hei can manage with that, and he wastes no time as he minces parts of the Night Cat King's meat and cuts some into chunks. He wraps the minced meat in deep-sea fish skin and cooks some other ingredients inside the shell of the spinning tortoise and adds a drop of Aoye's bone oil before letting the food simmer. After a short while, he serves the dish, and it is a higher-tier delicacy. Mu and Lung can't contain their appetite as they drool. They pounce on it and love every bite. Lung shoves some in Hong's mouth when she tries to resist eating, and it tastes so nice that she sucks on the bone like a baby does a pacifier. She thinks that Mu is stunned by how ugly she must look while eating. However, the guy just wants to also have a try of her food. She goes red because it is an indirect kiss in her mind since he's eating from the same spot she did. Lung is surprised by the level of Hei's cooking and for him to be able to do it with such ordinary ingredients. The chef gives the credit to Aoye as he reveals that most of the nutrients from devouring mythical beasts is mostly stored away in its bones. A few drops of the oil turns ordinary food into marvelous delicacies. Everyone is stunned to hear that he's going to serve a soup dish too. He peels the soft layer of the spinning tortoise shell and adds some water before bringing it to a boil. The last ingredient is sky-devouring earthworm king, and since it loves to eat spinning tortoise, the smell of the soup draws it in. The three-headed worm starts to chase the chef, and he orders the others to subdue it, which will slowly cause its whole clan to meet their demise. Mu kicks one head, Hong binds another one with her chains, and Lung just drops a mountain on the whole creature. The king worm manages to survive the assault. Lung discloses that it is almost as strong as Aoye. The creature starts to spit acid to stop Hei, but the foodie moves him out of harm's way. The chef reveals that the best way to subdue it is to attack its real weak point, which is its core that it hides deep underground. It is also having unbreakable scales around it. Mu equips some holy armor which protects him against the acid as he jumps into the mouth of the king. He soon finds himself at the core and starts to eat it. A strange power inside the core also enters his mouth. The king falls to the floor defeated, and the foodie comes out looking fat. Hong is shocked to see him in that state, and Hei explains that Mu overnourished from eating the king's core. She expresses that she will always like Mu no matter how he appears, but she can't help but see a potato when she looks at him. Lung thanks them for helping avert a crisis. Hei highlights that the problem is not fully addressed because the worms will pick a new king. The so-called deity is aware of this, but it gives her plenty of time to restore the Night Cat King population. Currently, she is worried about Jiao because he will continue to target the mythical beasts, and it will cause a disaster. They all acknowledge the threat, but Hei draws their attention to the completed soup dish, which uses the meat from the king worm. It is a higher-tier delicacy and restores their energy as they eat. The chef warns them not to eat more than 3 bowls, otherwise they will get overnourished and end up like Fat Mu. Hong deliberately does it so that she can look like him, but the guy has already returned to his normal form because he has cultivated a holy body which returns him to his original form, no matter how much he eats. Hong gets a little upset that he didn't tell her and starts to jump rope to lose the weight. That brings the episode to an end.